attention over tomorrow's meeting between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. President Barack Obama. Netanyahu is under great pressure from the left and right over accepting or rejecting a two-state solution. Joining us now from Tel Aviv is Likud MK Danny Danon, a leader of the two-state rejectionists. MK Danon, thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
You were quoted today as saying, Netanyahu told me that I can be calm, but I fear that he may break. Why do you fear that?
What we see today is a major campaign trying to push Netanyahu to implement the left-wing ideology. We had an election a few months ago. The Likud won overwhelming. And we see people from the left, from Meretz and Labour, trying to push Netanyahu to accept a two-state solution. We ran on a different campaign. We spoke about security. We spoke about economic. We never spoke about a two-state solution. That's why what I'm doing now is actually reminding the public and the media that the Likud won the election not to create a Palestinian state. We believe it's dangerous for Israel, and I believe that Netanyahu will say clearly to the President Obama that he has no mandate. The coalition that we formed is a coalition of people who are against two-state solution.
But what about the rebels within the Labour Party? They're certainly applying pressure to the Prime Minister, not to mention the entire international community. Can Bibi Netanyahu say no to a two-state solution?
That's exactly the case. When you talk about the rebels from Labour, Labour received only 13 seats in the Knesset, and among them 4 rebels calling Netanyahu to make a peace plan that is against the platform of the Likud and is against the platform of the government. So Netanyahu, who has experience as a prime minister, and he knows that he needs to keep the coalition, will say it clearly to Obama that it's not good for Israel, and also he has no mandate to do that. He knows that, and we believe he will focus on the issues of Iran and other threats to Israel, and not bend to the pressure from the left who lost the last election.
MK Danon, last week you organized a meeting of MKs from Likud and other right-wing factions in which some called for a political and public campaign against the U.S.-backed plan. If Netanyahu does support a two-state solution, will you lead a walkout of the Likud hardliners?
I don't believe Netanyahu will change his platform that he was elected only a few weeks ago.
If he does, though, will you lead the walkout?
There is no majority, not in the Likud, not in the coalition, not even in the government, that will support a Palestinian state. We're living in a different coalition today, and Netanyahu knows that he has no majority among the Likud members today in the Knesset to lead for a Palestinian state.
You were also quoted today saying that we are still trapped in the trauma of former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, but the current situation is different. What did you mean, and do you think that Netanyahu could possibly pull a Sharon and abandon his beliefs, do an about-face?
I said clearly it's different because we have a different leader. We have Netanyahu as a prime minister with a clear ideology, and he knows that we have no partner today. He cannot speak with the Hamas in Gaza, and we don't want to create another Hamas state in Judea and Samaria. So I say different because Netanyahu knows the facts. Now he has an important task to explain it to Obama's administration. It's not easy. It will take some time, but he will have to show them that we have no partner for peace. Meanwhile, you know that he has a full support from his party and from his coalition, and the voices we're hearing today from Washington is the same voices we heard when Clinton stepped in and when Bush stepped in. It always happened, and a prime minister has to do what is good for the people of Israel.
MK Danny Danon, always good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.